Welcome to the deep dive. It's pretty amazing how technology just keeps weaving itself into our lives, sometimes in places we don't really stop to think about.
Yeah, like policing, for instance.
Exactly. And today we're diving into something pretty significant happening over in South Korea. They're rolling out police body cameras officially nationwide.
That's right. It's a fundamental shift in how law enforcement operates there. For quite a while, body cam use was, let's say, fragmented. But now, yeah, it's this big government-led initiative.
So our mission today is to really unpack this whole thing. We want to look at the surprising backstory of how this came about in South Korea
hmm
and the problems they're trying to fix, the actual tech they're using, and,
Yeah.
what it all means for public safety, but also for individual rights.
Yeah, and it's a really good case study, I think. South Korea's approach gives us some valuable insights into that tricky balance between tech, policing, and privacy that, well, everyone's grappling with.
Definitely. So where do we start? The history.
Yeah, let's go back a bit. So the whole idea of police using body cams, it was first piloted there way back in 2015.
2015. Wow, that's earlier than I might have guessed.
Right. But here's the really interesting part. For years after that, individual officers, uh, they were actually buying their own body camera.
Out of their own pockets. Seriously.
Yeah, shelling out their own cash. Mostly to gather evidence, sure, but also, to protect themselves during encounters. Self-preservation, basically.
That's incredible. So it wasn't standard issue gear at all.
Not centrally, no. And apparently, even as recently as March this year, there were still something like 2,000 of these personally owned cameras being used out there.
Wow. That really paints a picture, doesn't it? Moving from officers feeling they need to buy their own gear to this official state-backed system, it says a lot about, well, maybe liability, trust.
It really does. And this big rollout now, it's happening because of a key change in the law last year.
Oh, okay. What was that?
It was an amendment to the Police Officer Duties Execution Act.
Yeah.
Basically, the law now officially says, yes, body cameras are formal police equipment. That change was pretty much the green light needed for this whole nationwide thing.
Okay, that makes sense. So if officers were already using some cameras, even if they bought them themselves, what were the big problems? Why the push for this official standardized system? What needed fixing?
Well, the issues with those, commercial off-the-shelf cameras that officers were buying were pretty significant.
Like what?
A big one was the lack of features to stop them from being lost or stolen easily. But even more critically, there were real concerns about tampering. Could the footage be altered? Falsified?
Ah, right. Evidence integrity would be a huge concern then.
Exactly. And if you can't trust the footage, what's the point?
And I guess beyond just the evidence side, what about people's privacy? If these were just regular consumer cameras, maybe the data wasn't secure? Leakage concerns.
You hit it right on the head?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a major worry. The lack of a secure, centralized system meant personal information could potentially leak. It was a big vulnerability.
Okay.
So this new official system, it's designed specifically to tackle those things, solving security issues like, hacking, preventing video tampering. And of course, a side benefit is officers don't have to buy their own gear anymore. That financial burden is gone.
Right. That's a big plus for the officers themselves, for sure. Okay, so they're addressing the old problems. Let's talk about the scale of this new thing. How big is this rollout?
It's pretty massive, actually. The plan from the National Police Agency is to deploy 14,000 of these new body cameras.
14,000. Wow. Who gets them?
They're going to frontline officers. So your local police station officers, traffic cops, the mobile patrol units, pretty much the officers interacting most with the public.
And the price tag, I imagine 14,000 cameras plus the system behind them isn't cheap.
No, definitely not. The investment figure is 19.486 billion Korean won.
19.5 billion won.
Yeah, and that's spread over 5 years, running up to 2029. It covers getting the cameras out there and keeping the whole system running, so it shows a pretty serious long-term commitment.
It really does. Okay, so with that scale, data security becomes even more critical. How are they handling that? You mentioned the old cameras had issues?
Right. They've put in some pretty robust measures for the new system. The recorded video, it gets sent directly, wirelessly, to the National Information Resources Management Service.
Okay, what is that exactly? Some central government data place?
Yeah, basically. Think of it as the government's secure data hub.
Mm.
Transmitting it directly like that, it's designed to stop anyone from just deleting footage locally or, letting it leak right from the camera.
And the footage itself, Is it protected?
It's encrypted the moment it's recorded.
Hmm.
And apparently it's designed so that even if someone did manage to get the raw file, it would be unplayable, like scrambled.
That sounds pretty secure. Layers of protection there.
Definitely.
What about using them? How does it work in practice? Do people know they're being recorded?
Yes, that's built in. Officers have to notify people. The cameras themselves have light and sound signals to clearly show when recording is active. Transparency is key there.
Okay. And how long do they keep the footage? Forever?
No, there's a retention policy. Video and audio are stored for 30 days after they're collected.
Just 30 days.
Yep. After that, it's automatically deleted. It seems like a balance they're trying to strike between needing it for evidence or investigation and, not holding on to personal data indefinitely. Privacy considerations.
Right. Balancing act. Okay. So we've got evidence collection, security. Is that it? Or is there a bigger picture for what they plan to do with all this video data?
There definitely is a bigger picture. The police agency isn't just looking at this footage for, individual incidents. They want to use the data to help shape broader public safety policies.
How would that work? Analyzing patterns or something?
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more future forward. They're planning to bring in AI.
Ah, AI. Of course. What kind of AI?
Well, things like automatically extracting key information from incident footage. Potentially facial recognition, which is always a sensitive one.
Always.
And interestingly, even using AI for deepfake identification.
To spot fake video, like to ensure the body cam footage itself is real.
Precisely. Making sure the evidence itself hasn't been manipulated using deepfake tech. It's kind of meta, using AI to police the integrity of the video data.
That's fascinating. So when officials talk about this whole program, what's the main message they're putting out there? What are the stated goals?
Well, according to one police official, the main aims are twofold. One, obviously improve the quality of evidence, make it more reliable.
That makes sense.
But two, and they stress this, is to minimize infringement on citizens' rights. Specifically, rights potentially violated by abuses of police power. So it's framed as accountability for everyone involved.
Okay. Enhancing evidence, protecting rights through transparency and accountability. That seems to be the core message.
Yeah, that's the official line.
So tying this all together then, it's quite a journey for body cams in South Korea, isn't it? From officers buying their own, dealing with the problems of basic tech, to now this huge nationwide, technologically sophisticated, securely managed system. It really does show one way a government is trying to navigate that complex space between, giving police the tools they need and protecting citizens' privacy and data.
It absolutely does. It shows how quickly things are changing, how public safety is adapting or trying to adapt to the digital age, and the ongoing challenge of using tech responsibly.
For sure. And maybe that leads to a final thought for you, our listener. As we see more advanced tech, like the AI we just talked about, getting integrated into public safety, think about how that constantly redraws the lines.
Yeah, the lines around surveillance, privacy, what accountability even looks like.
Exactly. When more and more of public life can be, digitally watched and analyzed, what does that mean for us? For societies all over the world? And how do we make sure these powerful tools are used in ways that are actually beneficial and fair?
It's a huge question.
It really is. And it's a conversation that, it feels like it's only just getting started. Something definitely worth thinking about.